Want to see something crazy? I don't know what this stuff is, but it's not paint. So like I said, I picked this up I think 2 or 3 years ago. Man, time flies and I kind of forget how long it's been, but I think it's probably been about 3 years. But it's really just been sitting, and but the bike is super clean. I mean, there's not a ton of rust. There's a little bit of rust here in the tailpipe, which I'm not really sure what I'm going to do. I might just have to buy a new exhaust. I don't want it to be super loud, but I'm not a huge fan of these dual pipes. They look a little wonky. I'm going to try to clean up this back area. I want to shorten this up, bring this in a little bit, trim this across, use the stock fender. Oh, excuse me. But shorten it up, get rid of the tail light, replace the tail light with something nicer, get rid of these, replace them with something different. I hate the seat. The seats, I mean, I don't hate the seat. I just think that I would like something a little more low profile. I guess if the seat was about as high as this ribbing, I'd be a little bit happier. But I don't know if I'm going to invest in a seat right now. And I don't really want to do the hoop flat seat thing. I wanted to keep a little bit of comfort. So last year I had my friends in West Palm at the burn up company do handlebar swap. Put these Biltwell bars on. They ran the wires through and got rid of the factory Speedo and tack and replaced it with this unit here. So my plan is basically going to paint the tank, paint the air cleaner covers, which aren't on right now. I'm going to be really sad to see the bass boat glitter go, but yeah, it's got to come off. So I'm going to delete the front fender, change the tires, put like a street legal dirt tire on, probably paint the headlight housing. I'm going to either paint or powder coat the wheels, paint the frame, but I'm going to do that with the engine in. Typically I would strip everything and get the frame powder coated and put it all back together, but I have 2.5 weeks, and I know with my workload I just won't get it accomplished. So everything's going to stay in. I might polish the engine cover housings or get them powder coated. Haven't decided yet. Powder coating's probably going to be faster, but obviously more expensive. So I'm going to start taking this thing apart today, and yeah, like I said, 2.5 weeks. That's what I have to work with. I'm super picky about having a clean floor. Nothing bothers me more than a dirty floor. I got the garage cleaned up, got the floor cleaned up, and kind of rearranged things and set the bike on a rubber mat to start working on it. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is get the tank off, and might put some paint stripper to get rid of this beautiful bass boat finish. So cleaning took me a little longer than I expected. I usually get sidetracked by that stuff, but hopefully I can get some stuff off this bike today to get some progress. One of the biggest problems with having so many projects in different places is all my tools right now are at my house in my boat. So this morning I had to grab what I thought I was going to need, and I guarantee that I'll get to something and I won't have the size or the socket or the wrench or something that I'll need, guaranteed. the bass boat glitter tank and air cleaner covers are off, and gonna be history. Alright, well that didn't go as I expected at all. I don't know what kind of clear coat is on this bass boat glitter paint job, but I just put multiple coats of aircraft stripper, and I've never before, having used this many times, never seen the paint or top coat bubble at least a little bit. And this stuff, I sprayed the aircraft stripper on and it didn't do nothing to it. I have no idea what kind of clear this is, but I'm stunned that this stripper didn't do anything. I mean, it made it a little soft, maybe a little tacky. That's it. So I guess it's gonna have to be sanded off, or I'm reluctant to sand the plastic for obvious reasons. So just have to scuff the plastic and paint over the top of it, and the tank's gonna have to come off with the sandpaper. Wasn't what I was expecting, but that's how shit goes. So I just hit the gas tank with this paint removal wheel because I was curious about what it is, and it's some kind of glue. It's not even paint, because when I hit it with the grinding wheel, it just kind of melts and like pushes aside. So it kind of explains why the stripper didn't work. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I guess it's just gonna have to be ground off little by little until all of it's gone. Fucking nightmare. Want to see something crazy? I don't know what this stuff is, but it's not paint. Direct hit it with the die grinder Scotch Brite wheel, and it won't even come off at all. This is unbelievable. I don't even know if this is going to be paintable, salvageable. I'm going to have to sand it so much that it's just going to ruin the plastic. Ugh. Alright, so fairly productive day one. Just kind of taking apart what I can, trying to figure out what I can get rid of, get out of the way so I can paint the frame, things like that. Looks like I'm going to need a tool to break the chain. There's no master link in the chain, so I can't get the back wheel off, but everything else came off pretty easily. Alright, it's pretty basic. Day one. Got all the front apart. Gonna take this housing off so I can paint this. I'm gonna leave that, and I need to take these off as well, but I couldn't really get to the wires without taking this off, so I'm gonna do that another day. Probably pull the forks out as well so I can either polish or paint the fork housings. Probably paint them, it'll be a lot easier. This will all go back in the air cleaner. I'm just going to keep the air cleaner. I'd like to do, you know, like K&N pods, but that would entail relocating the battery to get it out of the center, and that's just more work than I think I want to get into right now. So I'm gonna leave that. Probably end up trimming this down, just move this in and leave the hoop the way that it is, and then maybe utilize the factory fender after I trim it. Oh, I got the hiccups again. But I think if I just pull this in and then get the fender kind of tucked up tight to it, that'll be more than enough. And then I'll get the fender powder coated after I weld it together, kind of section it together, and try to maintain the stock bolt holes to hold it in place. But I think it'll be pretty easy. I mean, these areas up here are covered by the seat. This is obviously covered by the tank, so I don't have to worry about painting that too much. But once I get the carbs out, I'll be able to get in here with a wire wheel to just prep this up. These will come off pretty easily. I'll be able to get in here with a wire wheel, and then I can use aluminum foil to cover the harnesses and any of the wiring that I'm not going to take apart. I'll just aluminum foil it, and then when I come in with the small touch-up spray gun, the aluminum foil will, you know, cover all that stuff so it doesn't get painted. Not sure what I'm going to do with the shocks. I'd like to get maybe some better ones that are a little bit shorter. I don't want the bike to be super low, but when I put the forks back in, I'll probably drop it down maybe an inch. Just drop the forks into the triples. Super simple lowering. Yeah, I guess that's about it for today. So yeah, just got the text from the girlfriend. She's on her way home, so that is AKA you should be coming home too. So yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up and gonna work on the boat tomorrow. So tomorrow I'll show you some of that.